What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the top of the map in the red color, playing as Oranos. His name is Ulysses. His opponent today in the blue color, playing as Odin. His name is Rapl. The map is watering hole. Don't know why we're whispering, but this is the Odin favored map. This is one of those maps which everybody complains about. This is the one where the Oranos mains go is impossible for them to win. And I'm excited to see this game because Ulysses is no run-of-the-mill Oranos player. He's going to show you guys, he's going to show me how to play this. Rapple's going to be here trying to show us how to play Odin. I remember that Odin was kind of crafted back in, I want to say 2015, maybe 2016, with the Mister coming in. He came in and he was like, guys, Odin's kind of good. Why do you guys hate on Odin so much? He's kind of good. He's got great hunt that's going to help him with consistency. He's got Ulfsark, which are really, really good. And I'm going to go and kill everyone in the game with Odin. And he proceeded to do it and then shaped what the Odin meta would be for the years to come. And now we've got players like Rapl who are perfecting what Mr. started here. And that seems to be the way of the strategy here in this game we call Age of Mythology. It's like one person comes up with an idea and then everybody else goes, you know what, that idea is great. Let me jump on that idea, and they push it. We see this currently in Age of Empires for quite a bit. One person comes up with an idea, say Rus Fast Castle, and then another player takes it to the next level. And that's just how these RTS games come to be. And I think that the history of the meta of Age of Mythology is very, very interesting for another day perhaps. But we will be seeing this game and seeing what these guys choose to do in order to take this game. We are probably going to be seeing a 430 classical age here from Ulysses. He's got himself hunting dogs already. He's on the gold. He's on the wood. And he's going to be doing his thing. The question really is, what's Rapl going to do? Because what everybody has been doing currently, Odin versus Oranos, is double Longhouse, Lone Wanderer Ulfsark into a competitive heroic age time. You do not want to sit in the classical age. That is where Odin players go wrong here in this matchup. If the Odin player gets a competitive heroic age timing, I'm saying somewhere around 10 to 12 minutes. And that means they do have to cut units. That means they do have to be very, very careful. They're going to be in a fantastic position. And the big thing that happens with Odin is that he gets all of the early initiative against the Oranos play, so he slows the Oranos play down, which a lot of other civilizations don't have. You do see it to a lesser degree with, say, Zeus, or with Zeus, Hades, Poseidon with their early heroes. You see it to another lesser degree with Set, with the Shifting Sands Priest Pharaoh shenanigans, and that's kind of it. You don't really see it with anyone else, but we might be seeing something coming through here for Rapl. Now, Ulysses has his Gazelle over here, which Rapl should know. So one of the first things you ask yourself when you're playing against your Oranos opponent is, how much food did I start with? That means how much food did my opponent start with? Which means we ask ourselves how long it's going to take our opponent to have to leave their base. And if the answer is 4:30, they'll be on a second hunt, which is pretty much every single game. We want to go and hit that hunt as fast as we humanly can. And Ulysses is going to be like, well, I have to defend that hunt as fast as I humanly can. What I suggest for the Oranos players is when they're advancing to the second age, bring your oracles back home onto this location. If you can heroize your oracles with valor, then you also get a citizen, you defend your hunt, you keep going. And it's not all in. You don't have to valor that. You can wait for Mermilla if he doesn't come. If he doesn't come, you're fine. You get your 3 Mermilla, you cast valor, you're fine and dandy. Rapl does hit the classical age first here through Freya. Ulysses going up through Prometheus. We see a longhouse, 2 longhouses, and we are still seeing more Herso coming out. So I wonder how many Herso Rapl is going to actually go for here. I do think that limiting your Herso is going to be very smart, and that's what he's doing. He's just going for 3. It's going to be enough to defend himself, getting buildings placed, all the other good stuff. We do have the crowned crane over here. We've got double elephant and double rhino. So tons of food down the bottom corner of the map for Rapl. So very, very safe with an extra wall over here. Rapl will be living the dream. I wouldn't be surprised to see an immediate medium infantry here as well. The Ravens now moving in for Rapl. A little bit delayed on these Ravens, I'd say. I'm not sure what they were doing. Rapl doesn't really know where to send his Valkyrie, which is really, really bad here because there's a timing where Odin has while Oranos is trying to get out his units. So the timing is 12 times 3, which is 22:33. About 33 seconds plus 20 seconds. About 50 seconds. Let's just say an even minute. It's about a minute you have to get your Valkyrie to the Oranos player's hunt to get any value out of the Valkyrie, because otherwise the hero Mamilo will come and push them away. So that's something you have to be aware of, which means it's vitally important for as soon as your temple goes up to send your Ravens forward and find where your opponent is hunting from. Meanwhile, we do see this house is going to be getting taken care of. Nice play from Ulysses to get some free value out of those Promethean offsprings. Nothing that Rapl could do to defend that, so just 40 wood down the drain. Ulysses has got himself a military barracks. He's got himself a counter barracks, but he's not building anything. He has cut everything here. But why? What is he cutting for? He's got himself 6 units currently. Is he going for a second town center? I don't think so. Now he's starting more units. He's getting himself medium infantry. This play here from Ulysses, I love. I love this play. He cuts Terma. Don't need to build too many Terma against the mass Murmillo. Instead, utilizes that to get himself the medium infantry, starts up the Murmillo production again, and he's going to have some very strong units to just walk into his opponent's base here, and he's going to see what he can get, go for some pickoffs on these units that are spawning out of the longhouse, decides, nope, too many units here for Rapl, going to be retreating away instead. And we do see the Ulfsark now swinging around, going after these Murmillo, but will be pulling back as the Murmillo are pushing them away. So a little bit of skirmishes on 2 fronts here for Ulysses. Got to love that. What I would love to see from Ulysses is cutting those Terma completely, and either, I mean, there's a world where grabbing a second town center might be correct here, but I don't think so. And it is looking like that's what he's going for. I thought maybe some Kara Ballaster and go to the heroic age wouldn't be a bad idea, but he is going for this town center. The Ulfsark will be moving in. I do not think the Rapl is aware of this. He's got no idea. And Ulysses' score is still very far ahead, so I don't think that Ulysses is really going to know, but he is walking over here. He is going to be looking for something. There is a possible forest fire that could be thrown down on this savanna forest over here if he so chooses, and it is looking like he's kind of gearing up to do that because he's bringing his Ulfsark next to this. So it's a bit of a waste. He does go for it. The villager will have to pull away. These units are getting pushed back. These Ulfsark over here are getting pushed back as well as the citizen is moving over here. We'll start hitting some hyena right now. A little bit desperate for the food. There are 2 elephant over on this location, so they would be very nice to be grabbed. And while that's going on, a little bit of damage here onto the temple, funnily enough, but it won't be able to do too much. Down center is just about to pop for Ulysses. He's 75 of 75 population. Rapl, on the other hand, 81 of 115. And it does look like Rapl is going to be going to the heroic age. So Rapl doing the correct thing thus far. This is what he should do. He will get to the heroic age very, very soon. Does unfortunately run out of the rhino, so we'll have to eat an elephant. So his timing is a little bit off on that food income, but it should be completely fine. You're just going to be continuously looking around for picks on units. One thing you can do if you want to be sneaky, and you do have to be very hyper aware of what your opponent's doing with the town center, but if you want to go for a town center raid and just cause some chaos, you can send the Valkyrie in first and then send the Ulfsark in. The town center will focus those Valkyrie. The Valkyrie's got 55% pierce armor, so the town center's only really doing 9 damage. It shoots 2 arrows, 9 damage to the Valkyrie a second, which means the Valkyrie stays alive for a very, very long time. We are seeing still some cheeky harass coming in over here as Rapl is now looking like he's going to the next age. No. He started production again. Why? I thought he was going heroic age. He's got his armory up. He's got it all up. He's ready to go to the next age. And he'd be in a perfect position, but he's deciding to spam out Ulysses, which is playing directly into Ulysses' hands here. But he has got a nice surround now onto this army. Going to get a lot of chip damage done, but not very many kills. Remember, the Oranos army is still very, very fast. So he's going to be able to get away from this without too many casualties. And now Rapl is mass Ulfsark, which is technically not the best army. It's not the best army at all, so we'll see how it's going to work. Ulysses is going to probably be getting out some Caraballister here, as he is starting to get them down. And with enough of a meat shield, this Caraballister will actually deal tons of splash damage, tons of damage. We see a huge shockwave there onto that, onto those Ulysses, picking off a bunch of them. And Rapl is still not on the way to the next age. Meanwhile, moving on to his next elephant, he's only got 750 good food left over on this side of the map. He does have the zebra over here still, which he can come and eat. But we're seeing now, instead of going to the heroic age, we're seeing a second town center coming up, and he's going to attempt to body block this, or building block this, I should say. Still trying to get this town center up. Now we see a nice swing around here from Rapl to snipe that single lone Caraballister as the town center is trying to get up here. It looks like it will not be denied here, as Ulysses pushes, has to run away here. So bit of a nice bait from Rapl there, getting those Ulfsark to swing around. Rapl really needs to stop building units. He's starting to make some raiding cavalry now as the dwarves moving forward. The gold mines are very exposed over here, though. As you can see, we have gold mines kind of everywhere on the left side of the map, but not really too many on the right side of the map. But Ulysses, let's check him out. I wouldn't be surprised if Ulysses is going to the heroic age fairly soon. There's the armory. Only 3 villages on food right now. He's starting to throw down farms. There are rhinoceros in the front of his base, and he's got a ton of villagers over here on wood. So, what? Is he going for farms? There he goes. He sees the rhino now. I thought he was going for farms then. I'm like, what? There's so much food on the map everywhere. Now we're seeing some Ulfsark raids moving in, and as these units push forward, they will be finding the rhinoceros here. So that's actually very, very nice here for Rapl. We'll see if he's going to be able to get a kill or not, as he does swing around the back. These villagers last for a very long time trying to throw down a ghost building here, not actually able to get it up just yet, as it will be retreating away, running straight for the tower here as the Ulfsark trying to run around. This is why you have to use box formation, ladies and gentlemen. Otherwise, the villagers do get away, and he gets all 3 of those villagers away somehow, some way. Meanwhile, the raid here from Ulysses coming in will pick off a bunch of these villagers as the elephant has finished up here. Nice counter raid by Ulysses. These villagers retreating back into their base will start throwing up those farms. That should never have happened there. There's no way that Ulysses should have allowed that, but he did. We do have a random villager now out on these gazelle, eating those up. Lovely play here by Ulysses to continue in this game, as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 villages were picked off there. 7 villages, and Hyperion comes through for Odysseus, and he's got very close to going to the Mythic Age. Rapl, on the other hand, he's going through Skadi. Do we see a market? We don't have a market. We do have a market. There it is for Ulysses, and he's going to be able to click up so very quick here. Very smart play by Ulysses to go here. So the question is, does he go for Vortex, or does he go for a Tartarian Gate? I do think the Tartarian Gate is normally going to be the right option here. As Ulysses almost in the next age, we do see a Chaos dropping down here. A little bit preemptive, because you do want to save that one normally for the Frost Giant, as we do see a Frost getting thrown down here. Maybe a little bit over eager to cast that, because I think he was maybe winning this fight without the Frost, but instead decides to do that. I'm going to kill all these units off, but there's going to be a Tartarian Gate coming his way. I guarantee you there's the Hecate coming through, and we are seeing some more buildings somewhere. No, not just yet. We've got a palace coming down now for Ulysses, as he's going to start thinking about grabbing this town center for himself. Meanwhile, the walls getting thrown up here by Rapl, going to be solidifying this position, preventing his opponent from retreating. But honestly, Ulysses probably shouldn't care too much. He just has to sack this army, get a good Tartarian Gate in his opponent's base. This is an open wall here, unfortunately for Rapl. And Ulysses will be getting onto this location over here and causing some mischief, as all the units on this location do fall. And did we get heavy infantry? No, not yet. No heavy infantry for Ulysses. But he is starting to make some Arcus. Is he going Arcus Destroyer? He is going Arcus Destroyer. So the classic unit comp, Arcus Destroyer, potentially Satyr as well. As the Ulfsark pushing forward. These units are just trying to stay alive. What is Rapl doing, though? Rapl has got his market coming down somewhere. I don't see a market anywhere. There's the Tartarian Gate. How do you deal with that? Very tough. I've seen the Ulfsark coming over here and does get a surround on this villager. Will it be enough? It looks like it is going to be enough. So a nice villager kill here for Rapl. He's going to be happy about that one. Getting one villager kill. As the villager did not get into its mana fast enough. These units over here are getting sniped down. But chaos is ensuing in this location over here. So what you want to do, generally speaking, against the Tartarian Gate is you send your heroes in first, you get your myth unit onto the Tartarian Gate, and then you bring your villagers over to take the Tartarian Gate down. That's kind of what you want to be doing here. And now Ulysses continuing here, more villagers getting built. And just in a very, very nice position right now, as Rapl is going to struggle mightily to get to the Mythic Age, which is basically... Oh, no, he's going Balder. He's actually on his way, so he's kind of okay here. We do see that cheeky Lampede coming in, going to hit this Frost Giant. That's going to be a little bit of an issue, but the Mythic Age is hitting for Rapl. He's going to have access to the Balder. The problem right now is there actually isn't a real big problem. I think Balder here can win this game, get a gold star. The problem actually is I don't think we've got any trade started. No trade at all. He just needs like 5 ox caravans to make sure that this isn't completely all in. Because there's a point here where simply pushing in and hitting the gold, making sure you get a gold star and not actually ending your opponent is actually optimal here. And you can't really do that if you don't have any trade going whatsoever. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. We just see some villagers getting sniped down over here. There's the Mythic Age here for Rapl. Is he going to Balder straight away? He should be thinking about it. He's not garrisoning the villagers just yet. He's got very few villagers left actually here. There's the Balder, as he's got units kind of everywhere, popping them out onto this location. These ones over here need to start coming over onto this Tartarian Gate here to finish that off. How many resources in the bank for Rapl? Not many at all, and I can't tell you what his economic upgrades are just yet, but while this is going on, the Herser come around the back here, hitting Ulysses' Arcus. The Fire Giant did get hit there by the Lampede. Very, very nice play by Ulysses as the destroyers are getting taken out here, and Rapl is now going for the main base. This town center is not going to end up getting up for Ulysses. We see the Ulfsark going to be immediately tasked at taking down this gold mine. How much gold in the bank right now for Ulysses? He's got 300 gold. He's chucking up a palace here. Ulysses needs like 3 palace and fanatics here if he wants to hold the Ragnarok of Rapl. Rappel's got himself bronze weapons currently, so not many upgrades at all. We see the town center trying to come back up right now. Fanatics are getting trained out of this palace, but the Ulfsark will take that down nicely. Meanwhile, over on this location, the villagers are getting pushed off of this gold mine. In a nice play by Ulysses, we do see some Arcus over here sneaking around. There is a potential for villagers to sneak this gold mine or this gold mine. Generally speaking, that's the best way to deal with a Ragnarok as Atlantean, is to sneak gold mines, to be honest. So definitely need to make sure that Rappel's got an eye on those. These villagers will be trying to make a break for it here. Rapl does see that, but he's not actually noticing it. He is going for the main base here. I don't think he really needs to do this just yet. Rappel's at 178 of 95 population. Definitely just making sure he prevents gold mines from being grabbed. We do see these Arcus going to be doing a lot of damage. We've got champ or heavy fanatics here. Look at how long these fanatics tank for and those Arcus starting to shoot back, doing some very, very big damage. We are seeing the Palace getting targeted down. Chaos gets thrown down here, hitting a bunch of those Ulfsark, making them virtually useless here as they drop down to Archaic Age stats, as the Palace will fall, but so many units of Rapl are falling. 135 of 95 population remaining. Ulysses will be losing his town center as well. How many buildings coming up? We do have a palace now coming up over on this location for Rapl. This gold mine is getting, for Ulysses, this gold mine is getting grabbed here, as we do see this town center is popping up for Rapl as he's going to attempt to start his food economy. Yet again, Rapple's got options here. Option 1, build some fire giant. Option 2, buy some food. Start your villager production here. But the fortified town center does look like it will eventually go down, as Rapl 95 of 95, Ulysses 108 of 120. So still very, very close here in this game. Ulysses retreating away from this location. Rapl will have to retreat away as well. But we have 7 villagers sneaking this gold mine. And Rapl should know about this. He does have a fire giant. He'll be moving that forward, pushing off this gold mine. But is it too little too late? Because Ulysses, he's got 300 gold in the bank. He's going to be able to get out a bunch more of these fanatics over here. He's got a ton of Arcus out already. These villagers are going to be making a run for it here. But we'll see Rapl try and take them down as they're retreating away. These heroes of Ragnarok falling as they're trying to retreat, as Rapl is 90 of 100 population, 110 population, still making those fire giant. He's trying to make some dwarves out, but he doesn't have them. So he's got 2 villagers on food currently. So very, very tough for him. He's not able to make any trade either. So this reboom is very, very slow by Rapl. No prep here for that one at all, as we are seeing the fire giant getting some big damage done. So the villagers are getting picked off as they're trying to retreat away. The Arcus doing some good help over on this location here, as the villagers still not really anywhere to go. They could come over onto this gold mine. There is a raven flying overhead, but we do see over here some villagers have snuck this gold mine as well, as the fire giant are coming in. How much favor for Ulysses? Tons of favor action, but the question is, do you go for some Lampedes here or not? You see fire, big splash damage coming through, but doesn't quite get it onto those Arcus here, as the palace will get taken down, but at what cost? Those Ulfsark are going to be trying to juke the arrows of the Arcus here. And he does manage to take this one down, but now we've got hero fanatics coming in. Look at that damage they do. They do so much damage to these fire giants here, as they will be falling very quickly. Actually, very, very nice play here from Ulysses in order to take those fire giants down. That's going to prevent Rapl from continuing to push on this location. Rapl in that moment does decide to tap out. The Ragnarok is not enough here, and that's the game. What a game here by Ulysses. He managed to stay in it for the entirety of this game. The earlier talent center helped out a ton. Check out the resource total. This was just complete advantage here for Ulysses for the entirety of this game, and a big credit to Ulysses for not buckling under any of the pressure that Rapl did put onto him. If we check out the kill death there, 121 to 111, still very, very close on the kill death here in this game. And just a very, very nice, crisp game by Ulysses, showing that, maybe Oranos ain't that bad here in this matchup. I do think that Rapl maybe shouldn't be thinking about getting this second town center, instead getting to the Mythic Age earlier. It doesn't necessarily have to get himself Balder. You can counter this this location with some villagers, and it can be better. But it is definitely a tough matchup nonetheless. I think that staying in the classical age for as long as he did was the big mistake that Rapl made. When Ulysses went 2 town centers, that's like, yay, I'm happy to see the Oranos player do that, because that means I get a safe heroic age in order to get out a bunch of frost giants and a bunch of happy, fun times for me to kill my opponent over and over and over again with. Get that second town center while you go into the heroic age if you really want it, or a little bit later. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTubes, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next game.